هذه الحلقة برعاية خدمات التدريب المقدمة من المدربة ومقيم الجودة المعتمد سارة العلي. من خلال برنامج مهارات القهوة يمكنكم الحصول على شهادة معتمدة من جمعية القهوة المختصة العالمية في عدة دورات، منها مهارات الباريستا، مهارات تحضير القهوة اليدوية أو المقطرة، ومهارات العلوم الحسية. لمزيد من المعلومات يمكنكم الاطلاع على التفاصيل في أسفل الحلقة.
Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and we are also joined by our other host, Sara Alali. Sara, hi.
Hello, Lee.
How
are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited about this episode because in today's episode, this is the fourth in our 5-part series, and we are talking about the tips that you would give cafe owners. So, as somebody who is in their first brick and mortar cafe, almost a year into it, what tips do you have for people who want to open their own cafe one day?
Okay, first of all, it's something that you told me at the beginning of my coaching and consultation, which is the golden rule.
Yeah.
And it's that it's gonna take you twice as long to build your cafe, and twice the effort and half of the profit. So actually it took 3 times 3 times more longer, and it's taking 3 times, maybe because of the pandemic, but it's a reality. It's something that I experienced. I'm experiencing now. So maybe you have to change this rule to 3 times.
3 times.
After the pandemic. So
and then after the economic tsunami that's coming, maybe it's 4 times.
Yeah. Let's see.
Just to restate, the golden rule is it will take twice as long to open. It will cost you twice as much, and you will make half the revenue that you expect to make. So we're going to change that to it's going to take you 3 times as long, and it's going to cost you 3 times as much, and you're going to make 1/3 of what you expect. Do you remember when we were reassessing the numbers as you were getting closer, and we redid the budget, and you were shocked that it was almost exactly double the amount that you had originally budgeted?
Yeah, this is even after after revisiting the numbers after the pandemic. So this is at the end it went up to 3 times.
3 times.
So it's maybe we need to have the patience and to accept this reality as a reality, that it's going to take you longer, and it will cost you more, and you will not make as much profit as you had expected.
And I think that the most frustrating part about that I see with everyone that I coach to open a cafe, or I speak to people who have opened cafes, the thing that they miss a lot of the time is that these delays are not because of you. These delays and the extra expenses are not because you haven't budgeted properly. The same thing with the revenue being cut in half. It's not because of you. All of these things, these delays and these extra expenses and the reduction in revenue, seem to always come from external forces. And no matter how much you prepare for these external forces, and don't worry, I doubled my budget and I'm ready for it. If you double your budget, I'm telling you it is still going to be double that. And I don't know why, but it always happens, and it always is because of external forces. Pandemic shows up, economic shit happens. Your contractor just, their mother dies and they can't do anything. These are all we get. Shortages with, like what happened with you. It happened at a time where there were shortages with regards to lumber and with regards to steel and other logistical problems. If one thing didn't go wrong, something else went wrong. It just never ends, right?
No, never ends.
So no matter how prepared you are, just know you can't be prepared enough.
Yeah. And also, what takes us to the next tip is that you have to be okay with that. Like, you have to feel comfortable that it's going to take twice as long as you expected. Yeah. And just live in peace with it. Because for me, I was trying always like, no, it can't take this much and I have to do something about it. And I'm just, as you said, like, I'm just against the forces and just let it go. And
so I have a question for you on that. Where do you find the sweet spot? And I'm saying this knowing that I was with you the whole time, but now this far away from it, how do you find the sweet spot between when to push and when to be okay with it?
As long as it doesn't weigh heavily on your mental health and soul and emotion and physical health. Like, this is when you have to stop. Because I used to push until it's like it almost break me. And it actually, like, I had some wounds until now, because I'm trying to push, and it's just natural that things will go against you in some point. And you have to be okay with that. It's not like blaming yourself that I did something wrong, or I could have done it differently. It's not gonna help, because you will keep even you will be very tough, and what is the word, like, you will be abusing yourself when you're saying to yourself that I didn't do it the right way, it's my fault, and I could have done it differently. Like, it's a learning journey, so you have to just learn and accept the fact that you're gonna face some obstacles, and many obstacles. Some of them that you can overcome, some of them will take longer to overcome, some of them you can't. You just have to find another way around. And this is also another tip, is that like, I was watching, I came across on the TV, they were talking about exam periods. And we are in the finals these 2 weeks in schools. And they were talking about, like, it's a talk show, morning talk show. And they were talking about how that people have to focus on studying, and they should push harder and more effort, and just all the time just studying. And that they were talking about a guy who was like saying, I went to the gym and I have an exam tomorrow, and he failed. And I was like, what? And I was when I came, like, on the way to record the podcast, and I was like, no, that's not right. To teach people that you have to stop all your life just because of a final coming. No, you have to go to the gym, find the time to go to the gym, find the time to do something that you love and something that will lift your soul, and study for the finals.
And give you a break from all the stress, and give, like...
Yes.
Right? Like...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you were building this cafe while you're in the pandemic. So you couldn't go out and be around your friends and get some relief that way by laughing and being around your friends. So it made it a lot more difficult. What I hear you saying is, if you're going through something really difficult, like building a cafe, make sure you have another outlet that is like a contrast to you being 100% in your cafe. Make sure that you look after your physical health and your mental health. Make sure that you have friends that are around you that help you laugh and make life different.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's not like I used to feel the guilt that, I need to, study for my exam and I'm baking. I used to do this. And it's like, and now I realized why I was baking.
Yeah, right.
if I didn't do the baking, I will be very stressful and I wouldn't do good at the exam. And alhamdulillah, like I'm always like doing very well in school, in university, and you would see me going out with friends on the finals. Why not? Like, I'm not saying to spend the whole day and all out, like at least 1 hour to do something different, to do something that will help you study better, smarter. And it's the same thing in the business. Like, make sure that you don't lose you during the process of gaining something else or building something else for others. And one of the things that, like, I'm still working on this because it's very difficult for me to have a different mindset, because I always feel guilty if I'm not working. And I am much better than before, but I'm still, like, I want to do Pilates. I want to go biking. I like bike, like go, have a ride and just... And we have the opportunity now. The weather is really nice and it's fresh outside, and it's, let's say, winter. It's our winter. So
folks, just to manage your expectations, winter over in Saudi is 34 degrees Celsius, which is
it can be 12. It can be 12, but it's still...
On the odd occasion, which is somewhere around 85 Fahrenheit. That's winter in Saudi. Just so that you know, it's not really winter. So the weather is nice. Why not go out and have fun and just relax and do something for me? You know, the problem is that our generation has grown up with hustle culture. And we're made to feel guilty that if we're not working 24/7 and if we're sleeping any more than 3 hours a night, then we're not really an entrepreneur. We don't really want it bad enough. And it's so not okay to think that way anymore. You've got to prioritize sleep. You've got to prioritize your mental health. You have to eat properly. If you can't take care of yourself, you cannot be responsible for making sure that you're running a safe workplace for other people, especially post-pandemic. Yeah.
And the other tip also is that you need to work on a support system. Like before you start the business, you need to have your own support system, because you will find yourself in situations as a leader that other people need your support. Yeah. So if you are still looking for support, that's not good. So you need to be, well established and have all the support you need before you start the business, before you start your journey, because other people need you in the business.
I want to add one more tip to that. And I think that this is one tip that you and I learnt together during this period in both of our businesses. Letting go. You are going to have people in your life that you're sure are the right people. Whether it's business partners, whether it's colleagues, whether it's suppliers, whether it's employees, whatever it is. And there is a season for people in your life. And be okay with knowing when that time comes to an end, and do it with grace and do it with respect, so that when the time comes for you to recognize, like, I guess at the core of this tip is, don't be scared to see people and the role that they play for what they are. If that person is no longer fulfilling the role that you thought they were playing, for whatever reason, whether their situation has changed, whether the business has changed, whether you have changed, or it's a new team and it's no longer the same dynamic, whatever it is, don't be afraid to move things along. And when you're somebody who can be very straightforward with people and speak with integrity and be very open, people really respect your ability to talk plainly about those things.
Yeah.
I think that that's a really important way to move forward.
It is, and on building on that, I don't know where I read it somewhere. They're saying that it's okay to break up with your customer.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's like, because we always feel that no, like we can't, and no, some customers you need to end the relationship with them. Yeah. So and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. I'm not saying to be disrespectful or
rude
to
or
insult
like
them or rude or no, but sometimes it's okay, because a lot of people would say like, no, these are your customers and you have to keep them. Yeah, but even customers that can weigh on your mental health and stress you more, you don't need them.
No. I assure you that that's some of the wisest wisdom a cafe owner can hear is what Sara just said. There are some customers that you are better off without, and it's not worth it. All right, one episode to go, and folks, get ready, because Sara's going to tell you what she would have done differently. And as somebody who had the honor of having a front row seat to this journey, I can tell you want to hear this episode. So, do you want to sign off this episode?
Yeah. In English?
Yeah, do it in English.
Peace, love and peanut butter, friends. Bye.
أعزائي، شكرا لمتابعتكم وحسن استماعكم. إن شاء الله تكونوا استفدتوا واستمتعتوا بحلقتنا، ونتمنى أنكم تكونوا جزء من مجتمع مابت فورورد. إذا حابين تنضموا لنا ادعمونا على صفحتنا في منصة باتريون patreon.com/mapitforward.